Something becomes obvious this week, whether you like it or not. Not because something suddenly goes wrong, and not because the world shifts overnight, but because clarity quietly catches up. This is not a dramatic week, and it is not a chaotic one. It is a revealing week, the kind where confusion doesn't intensify or spiral, but slowly begins to dissolve. We begin the week under a full moon, a natural point of illumination that has always marked moments of awareness. A full moon does not introduce new emotions or create problems out of thin air. Instead, it brings visibility to what has already been present, often just below the surface. This is why realizations tend to arrive under full moons, not because something new appears, but because you are finally able to see what has been forming all along. This particular full moon acts less like an explosion and more like a steady spotlight. It gently highlights situations that have lingered without resolution, conversations that never fully landed, and decisions that remained open-ended longer than expected. You may notice that something you have been circling for weeks, or even months, now presents itself plainly. Not loudly, not urgently, just clearly enough that it can no longer be ignored. Almost immediately after this full moon, we move into the February 2nd mirror window, a date many recognize as the 2-2 mirror. The number 2 governs duality, choice, reflection, relationship, and balance. When doubled, its energy becomes reflective rather than reactive. This is why the February 2nd mirror functions like a mirror. It does not judge what it shows you. It simply reflects where your actions and intentions may no longer align, where your energy has been divided, or where something has been maintained out of habit instead of conscious choice. This is why the collective tone of the week feels quietly sobering rather than overwhelming. People begin to notice patterns they have normalized without questioning, dynamics they have been managing instead of addressing, situations that require constant effort but offer very little clarity in return. This is not emotional overload. It is emotional accuracy. The nervous system is not being flooded. It is being informed. Adding to this atmosphere, Neptune has recently shifted into Aries, changing the background frequency of this period. Neptune governs dreams, ideals, intuition, and imagination, while Aries governs identity, initiative, and direction. Together, this shift makes it harder to remain undefined. It becomes more difficult to drift without purpose, and harder to postpone alignment under the idea that things will somehow sort themselves out later. Under this influence, people collectively feel a subtle but unmistakable push towards self-definition. Not impulsively and not recklessly, but honestly. If something no longer reflects who you are becoming, it begins to stand out. If a role, routine, or relationship feels misaligned, that awareness becomes harder to dismiss. This is not pressure to act immediately. It is pressure to be truthful with yourself. As the week continues, Uranus begins moving forward again, restarting momentum around values, stability, resources, and direction. What has felt stalled begins to loosen. This does not mean everything suddenly moves at once, but it does mean resistance softens. Adjustments that once felt complicated or out of reach begin to feel possible. Clarity slowly starts translating into motion. So how do you work with a week like this? First, observe before reacting. Illumination always arrives before instruction, and this is not a week for impulsive decisions. It is a week for accurate perception. Second, pay attention to repetition. What keeps resurfacing is not random. Repetition is information, showing you where an adjustment is being requested. Third, make one honest alignment, not a dramatic reset, and not a complete overhaul, but one precise correction that restores balance. This week does not force change. It reveals direction. And what becomes obvious now, quietly, shapes what unfolds next. This is Prophecy Pulse.